So what's good, y'all? This is my first time doing a reaction channel. I'm trying it out for the first time. I've never done this, but I figured I'd give it a shot. So I'm a truck driver and you know, I do a lot of driving. So sometimes I try to find stuff I can do, I can listen to or watch to kind of pass time by while I'm working. So um I've been seeing a lot of videos about this guy called the Fat Electrician. And every time I'm on YouTube, I see a lot of people reacting to his videos. Don't know nothing about him really, but I found his page. So I just scrolled through and I picked a video, you know, that I want to check out. It's a short video. I think it's only like 3 minutes. So we're going to watch it and we're going to check it out and see what it's talking about. So here we go.
Today we're talking about the fastest airplane of all time. It started when President Lyndon B. Johnson gave the CIA the green light to build a better spy plane. So they took their current spy plane, the Lockheed A-12, or as the Canadians call it, the 12, and they turned it into the sr71 Blackbird. It is capable of traveling above Mach 3, 2,455 miles an hour to be exact. If you're
Wait,
flying
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Over 2,000 miles an hour? That is absolute insanity. Like I ride a motorcycle, first of all, and I know what it feels like to be on two wheels going 180 miles an hour. But to be in the air and going 2,000 miles an hour, I can't even imagine. I can't fathom like how fast that is. Like, did y'all actually catch on to what he was saying? Like, hold on a second.
the 12, and they turned it into the SR-71 Blackbird. It is capable of traveling above Mach 3, 2,455 miles an hour to be exact. If your flag
That's
isn't on the
crazy.
moon, that's like almost 4,000 kilometers an hour. This plane is so fast it once traveled from LA to Washington, D.C. in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds. Yeah, that's where 4
I know you lying. Like, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm a truck driver, so it takes me driving a semi truck 4 days to go from Florida to California. 4 days. And you talking about you practically flew that in an hour because it takes longer to go from here to Seattle, and you did that in an hour. That's crazy.
420 Blaze It came from. That's not true, I made that up. Anyways, seriously, that is a 39-hour car ride. Or damn near 10 days if you're Amish. At least I think they're allowed to have bikes. Okay, seriously though, here's what I need you to understand. The only reason spy planes existed was because satellites didn't. Their only job was to fly over enemy territory and take pictures, so they had intel. Because of that, it has no weapons and no defensive capabilities. Kinda. You see, originally they tried to just be stealthy, but when that didn't work, a decision was made. We're gonna fucking race them. Yeah, this plane was just too fucking fast to catch. Like, I'm serious. The official plan, if a missile was shot at it, was just to outrun the missile. Which actually happened during Vietnam. Now, don't get me wrong, the plane is absolutely ridiculous. But what's more ridiculous is the shit the United States on health system did to make it. You see, aircraft grade aluminum can't handle going almost 3,000 miles an hour. So they had to make it out of titanium. But this was the 1970s during the height of the Cold War. And the only place to get titanium back then was from Russia. And they weren't about to sell the United States government a bunch of it to make a badass spy plane with. So the CIA had to open up a bunch of dummy companies in different countries just to buy titanium in small amounts to be able to trick Russia to even get enough to make this plane.
First of all, how did you know? Where do you even get all this information from? Because you talk about it like you were there when all this went down. Like, how did you get all of this information? That's a lot. But I'm interested though. So keep going.
It gets worse. So then they finally got enough titanium, but here's the thing. Titanium was pretty new and it's so hard that it would ruin normal machining equipment. Nobody even knew how to machine this thing or make anything out of titanium at all. So they ended up figuring out how to machine titanium and then they built the prototype for the sr71. But the problem is when you're going 3,000 miles an hour, metal heats up, and when metal heats up, it actually expands. So the plane was actually longer when it was flying. So in order to make it fit together tightly when it's flying, they had to actually assemble it loosely when it was on the ground, which was fine, except it caused it to leak jet fuel, which is kind of a spontaneous death hazard. So what's an unhealthcare system to do? Well, they called up Shell, the multi-billion-dollar oil company Shell, had them make jet fuel that somehow wasn't flammable. Like, apparently the pilots used to put their cigars out in the jet fuel before they took off. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is money can't buy you happiness, but apparently it can buy you fucking magic. I have no idea.
That's that's wild, man. Like, how do you how do you willingly put out a cigar in jet fuel? I don't smoke, but even if I did, I'm not smoking around gas, jet fuel, diesel, anything flammable, because the fumes is enough to really cause some problems if it sparks something. So yeah, that's just crazy to me. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
How that even works, and this shit was in the 70s. I don't even want to know what they do now. Which is why when I see headlines like this, I'm not worried about it, like, at all. They have a bomber as high-tech as ours. No, they have a bomber as high-tech as the one we had 50 years ago. We spend $750 billion a year on defense. You think we haven't updated the planes in 60 years? I mean, come on, don't you think it's a little weird that the United States has the most unidentified flying object reports on the planet? But no, seriously, I have one question. How in the fuck do you take a picture going 3,000 miles an hour in the 70s? In
Yeah,
conclusion,
I
never
want to know that.
underestimate what Uncle Sam will do to get them topographical nudes. Merch and other links available at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. In
That's crazy.
1941, the British government finally and reluctantly agreed to let a speed freak build their next war.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, this is my first reaction. That's actually a pretty crazy video, and that's a lot of information. But I like the way he does his storytelling. I like how he, like, even with all the information and how cool everything is, I like the way that he projects it and how he talks about it because it makes it sound super interesting. So I think that's pretty dope. But this is me. I'm Keith. Thank you for stopping by. First video. So hopefully my next one will be a bit better. The next time, we out.